Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Family Sedan channel. I got 3 stories to share with you in this latest lukewarm Moon Family Sedan experience. Starting with this one from the Crypto Basic. U.S. Senator Toomey says indictment against SBF is not against crypto. And I will tell you here at the outset, Senator Toomey is just knocking it out of the park yesterday when he was talking. And so obviously, from my perspective, absolutely correct in the fact that what we've seen with the FTX collapse, it's not a crypto problem, it's a fraud problem, and misappropriating user funds by literally running the definition of a Ponzi scheme. It's textbook Ponzi. And then he also went to say, and this is what I personally was most interested in, and I think you'll understand why. He cited specifically that cryptocurrencies, if there's sufficient decentralization, it's not a security. So I wanted to talk on that as well, because it's rare to see somebody in Congress articulate the same type of stuff that we in the XRP community have been saying. Because by the way that Senator Toomey was talking at this hearing yesterday, it means that XRP-like coins, and which would mean XRP itself also, and XRP-like coins, decentralized, are not securities. We have a sitting senator effectively arguing that. And not, again, to be clear, he didn't call XRP out by name, but I'm saying what he described is XRP. That's what matters, and it should apply to so many coins, vast majority, in fact. Then there was also this article from the Crypto Basic, which I wanted to briefly touch on. We got a toxic Bitcoin maxi troll on your screen right here. Max Keiser. What a piece of work, this guy. Here's the headline. American broadcaster and Bitcoin maxi Max Keiser says XRP is a security. Now, that's not the first time he said that, but I wanted to share with you some of the specifics because it's entertaining, to say the least, and we had a former Ripple employee actually respond to him on this bogus nonsense. Then there's also this headline from the Crypto Basic. Ripple's general counsel says SEC is focused on recovering FTX funds for large investors, but not consumers. Before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, and we go to this first piece. Senator Toomey, what you got for us? United States businessman and Senator Pat Toomey Jr. recently weighed in on the charges on SBF and the testimony of current FTX CEO John J. Ray, who was called to testify on the firm's implosion in the wake of Sam Bankman-Fried's detainment. According to Toomey, the FTX saga looks like a case of commonplace fraud, and the charges brought on SBF by the Department of Justice and SEC are not against the crypto industry, but those who abuse it. Recall that, following his arrest by Bahamian police at the behest of United States authorities, the U.S. Department of Justice filed formal charges against SBF on the grounds of fraud, money laundering, and campaign finance offenses. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission also indicted the FTX founder for defrauding exchange investors. And furthermore, the CFTC charged SBF, FTX Trading, and Alameda Research with fraud and material misrepresentations yesterday. And here's a quote. The testimony yesterday underscored a very important point. This really looked like garden variety fraud that has happened in the past, usually with dollars or securities of the conventional sort. And here, it happened to happen with crypto. It is not an indictment against crypto. It is an indictment against the guys who misused it. And that's a direct quote from Senator Toomey. Then that is correct. It could have been any asset deposited by customers into a financial type of institution, in this case, a cryptocurrency exchange, FTX. Could have been anything. It could have been stocks. It could have been fiat currency. It could have been cryptocurrency. In this case, it's cryptocurrency and dollars sent to the exchange. Fine. But whatever it is, the problem is that somebody stole it. Okay? It doesn't mean that there's some sort of technological deficiency with crypto on the whole because of that. That is just the most ridiculous assertion, and you see people actually trying to pass this off as wisdom in Congress time and again. So this is a breath of fresh air from Senator Toomey. I mean, it's the same idea as like the people that say that, Bitcoin and crypto in general, it just makes it too easy for people to engage in money laundering and illicit activities. And I'm sitting here thinking, you little baby back biatches, do you understand that most of crime that's perpetrated having to do with the movement of value is done with the dollar? You know, and even in terms of percentages of transactions of the dollar versus percentages of transactions for Bitcoin or crypto in general. We've talked about this so many times, and we know that in the space here, but it's just frustrating to see people either outright lie to drive the narrative they want to drive, or to be so misinformed, but on such an important stage with such a crucial following, if you're in Congress especially, to see that is just repulsive to me. It's very unfortunate. And so Toomey, what Senator Toomey had to say also in terms of the Howie test, that got me very happy. And credit to XRP community member JV, at JV the Great, for sharing this clip. And I'm just going to talk about it. I'm not going to play the actual clip, and I didn't transcribe it. It's not necessary to get the idea across. But shout out to JV for sharing this, because as I was listening to it, I was like, absolutely, it's like, I want to give him an attaboy. And because he was literally stating that, you know, if there's no special permissions over a blockchain, I'm paraphrasing here, if there's no special permissions over a blockchain, then for any entity, then there's no central authority. And if there's no central authority, there can't be a common enterprise. He's articulating the same stuff we here in the XRP community have been saying for years now. And it's obviously true. And so I tweeted out the following. Senator Pat Toomey says that if a cryptocurrency is decentralized, meaning there is no central authority controlling it, then there is no common enterprise, and the cryptocurrency does not pass the Howie test, meaning it's not a security. Breath of fresh air. And so this is how I feel, just in a general sense. Because again, in order to pass the Howie test, every single prong of the Howie test must be satisfied. It can't be 3 out of 4. It's got to be 4 out of 4. Okay? All of them. So if you have one that fails, and this is the most obvious one, which is why it's discussed most frequently, well, there you go. I remember seeing there was a former SEC employee, I can't remember his name or what his position was, but he was at Ripple's Swell conference in, I guess it was 2018 probably anyway, and he was on stage, and people were looking at him for wisdom. This is like, could XRP possibly be a security? And he articulated why. And I'm paraphrasing again here too, and this is from several years ago, but I remember him saying on stage at Ripple's Swell event, well, no, I don't think so, because even if Ripple goes away, for example, then XRP persists, because obviously there's no common enterprise, there's no special controls over that, and so if there's no common enterprise, there's no way it can pass the Howie test. I mean, this has been understood by many who are just being intellectually honest for years on end. And it's just so rare to see this that I felt the strong desire to highlight this on my channel, because it's just so damn rare. And I hope that he's able to convince his cohorts in Congress and others that this is the right way to understand the world of crypto as it applies to securities transactions, or lack thereof. And then there was also this from the Crypto Basic. American broadcaster and Bitcoin maxi, Max Keiser, says XRP is a security. This guy. 500,000 people follow this guy, all up on Twitters. And I mean, I do too, but like for me, I think I still follow him anyway. For me though, like there are people that I follow that if I didn't have a YouTube channel, I wouldn't follow and perhaps would block. But because I run a YouTube channel, I want to be informed of all the stuff that, even if I find it annoying and stupid and nonsense, I want to understand what those types of people in the mainstream are saying. And look, it's not that I think that people that disagree with me are just stupid or shouldn't be heard. They should. This guy's on a different level, though. It's because he is not being intellectually honest. I do not believe he's for a moment being intellectually honest. If somebody's being honest in what they're asserting and they agree with me, awesome, let's have civil discourse. This guy, you can't have any of that with. This is an adult child, basically. Piece reads as follows. Max Keiser asserts that XRP is a security as the line between commodities and securities in the U.S. crypto space remains blurred. In a tweet today, popular Bitcoin maximalist Max Keiser asserted that XRP is a security. And here's the quote. Technically, XRP is a security. And it's this tweet that's on your screen right now for those of you looking. There's somebody named Rio who wrote, technically, XRP isn't a crypto, it's a digital asset. And that couldn't be more ridiculous. In fact, I'll just pull this up now. I thought this was a good smackdown of that concept by XRP community member Michael Nardolillo, who responded to Rio stating that XRP isn't crypto. And he said, XRP is literally a crypto. It's the native token of a blockchain network that uses cryptography. All cryptos are digital assets. Not all digital assets are cryptos, though. And it couldn't be more obvious. And there's no counterparty risk, as former Ripple employee Matt Hamilton points out in the tweet below there on your screen. Couldn't be more obvious. So that guy's just wrong. That's fine. I don't know anything about Rio. Doesn't matter whether he's trolling or he's just wrong because he doesn't know better. Fine. But that was retweeted by Max Keiser. And Max Keiser said, technically, XRP is a security. So there he is. He's just trying to, jab people with a stick in the XRP community, effectively. That's what it looks like. And this is where you have former Ripple employee Matt Hamilton jump in. Because it later in the thread. So that first there was somebody named Devor, if I'm saying that right, who responded to Max Keiser on a separate thread where he said, goodbye XRP and ETH. Because there's this article from Bitcoin Magazine. Gary Gensler is cited as saying we're ready to take action against other crypto companies. So Max Keiser tweets that and says, goodbye XRP and ETH. Yeah, like that makes any damn sense. XRP is going to continue to exist, even if it were 100% outlawed in the United States for eternity, which I don't think is going to happen. But even if, it's still everywhere else. It's not going to cease to exist. He doesn't know what he's talking about. No, that's not true. He does know what he's talking about to some degree. He just is pushing a narrative that is false because it's what he wants. It's very selfish. That's what he's doing. So anyway, somebody responded to Max named Devor, or Dave, or I don't know how to say it. The CFTC literally once again confirmed that they see ETH as a commodity. Stop clowning around. And Max Keiser responded and wrote, meaningless. And this is where former Ripple employee Matt Hamilton jumped in, and he says, so let me get this straight. You think that U.S. regulators saying ETH is not a security is meaningless, but U.S. regulators trying to claim XRP is a security isn't? You are a libertarian, in quotes there, but you are urging government regulation? Time to put down the bath salts, Max. That last line did make me laugh. I thought that was good. So he's not consistent, but this is a mark of somebody who's not intellectually honest. What government agencies say, highly meaningful if they're saying the things that I want, but it's meaningless if a government agency says the things that I don't want to be reality. That's as far as it goes with Max Keiser. It's not about intellectual honesty. It's not about what logically makes sense or anything from a legal perspective. No, not at all. It's about what Max Keiser wants in his little Max Keiser world. That's it. And so we just got to push back against these people. He's now got 500,900 followers. And again, yes, fine, I'm following him, but I'm doing it so that you don't have to, okay? I'm just saying. And then there's this article from the Crypto Basic. Ripple's general counsel says SEC is focused on recovering FTX funds for large investors, not consumers. And I don't feel it necessary to run through the whole article. Like a lot of it is just catching up to speed. Anybody that might have missed some of the latest stuff having to do with SBF and FTX and all that crap. But it stemmed from this tweet from Stuart Alderati, who of course is Ripple's general counsel, so he's their top in-house legal guy. And he simply wrote, to be clear, the SEC's tag-along complaint against SBF seeks to recover funds for FTX's sophisticated equity investors, not the consumers who have been left holding the bag in bankruptcy court. So think about this, folks. Here's the SEC, whose mission it is to protect investors, but not you, investor, not you, the investor. No. The accredited investor types, right? Who need the most protected, of course, because they're sophisticated. Since they're sophisticated, they're accredited investors, they need the most protection, right? That's that how this works? Is that how it's working now? It's just the SEC, it just doesn't give a damn about the people. It couldn't be more obvious. I think it's a salient point for Mr. Alderati here, which is why I wanted to highlight this. Really steams my vegetables, folks. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Family Sedan.